faithfully execute the duties of the office to which I have been appointed of the state of Texas, and I will do the best of my ability to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. Congratulations. Yay.
Talking about the water problem. They were talking about anything but water problem. We actually didn't even know it was happening. We were busy doing important things like having a Barry Manilow Day named, which I don't know what y'all did on Barry Manilow Day. I didn't do anything on Barry Manilow Day. But we have a serious water problem here, and most of us take our days off to come here and speak. We're not getting paid. We come here and we're hoping you're listening. But I'm going to play something for you, because sometimes they're not listening and they don't take advice. This will play.
He showed you the evidence.
He showed what he believed to be the evidence.
Okay.
Again, our council, myself and my council members, rely not on public comment, but on our staff to advise us.
So right there, we don't rely on public comment, which is to me saying some of you aren't listening to public comment. And we come here to talk. I can see which one of you are listening, which one of you aren't. I would love to give a quick quiz afterwards and ask, what did someone just say? I had this particular, and since we can't use names, it was one of the voices here said, we don't take advice from public comment. Well, you may not, but we vote. And we tell other people. There may only be a few of us here, but if you look at the YouTube, there are thousands of people tuning in. There are more people turning into this than are turning into Love in the Spectrum. So we've got people tuning in, listening, and they're calling me and they're saying, what is going on there? They're not even listening. They can count the ones that are listening. And someone got up here earlier and said they can see the 6 of you that they don't think you have swagger. I've been around y'all. Y'all definitely have swagger. He just can't see it. The rest of us can. And also last time, I want to point out something. A certain person up here said that the governor was going to have to come down. Don't call the governor down here to bully us around. I voted for Governor Abbott. I campaigned for Governor Abbott, but I'll be the first one to call him and say, you don't live here. You don't use the water here. Don't use name dropping to bully us around. We don't take it too lightly. We've got some women up here that I know are pretty strong, and let me tell you about some women. We don't like to be bullied around. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cox.
On this one, to me, I think what I've observed is there seems to be where some folks will come forward and ask a rhetorical question or a question and they get the slap on the hand.
That is the rhetorical.
I'm sorry, there's no, and then others, and they don't get the slap on the hand.
Good evening. My name is Jim Klein. I live in District 2 here in Corpus Christi. I have several rhetorical questions. I'm not convinced that this board is a functioning board. According to the Granicus page, board member.
To me, I think it's a problem with the system. Like Mark was saying, I think if it's possible to revisit how we have that policy worded and listed, and if it is a judgment call, then maybe we make the judgment that we don't want to call. I think in
that judgment call was already made for you guys back in 1776, whenever some people wrote down, Congress shall pass no law abridging the freedom of speech. You guys are Congress. Congress is a verb. You guys congress together to make laws, and they wouldn't be laws if you didn't try to enforce them. But since you try to enforce them with your police officers, they're laws. You can't do that.
Years past where I've seen questions weaponized in ways that were just to disrupt, and I agree, we don't want to disrupt, but I think that being allowed to ask questions, even though we can't.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can't abridge free speech. If you ask disruptive, weaponized, rhetorical questions, give me a fucking break, little sour-faced lady.
Even though we can't respond.
We know you can respond.
Respond. I think there's this list of, no profanity, don't attack people, those types of things, I believe, steer the decorum. But I think asking a question publicly of your representative is very appropriate.
Yeah, well, so these are council-approved policies, and we can bring it back to strike that section out.
If we could do that, Mayor.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
look
we'll
into. Okay, right, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, individuals will be called upon in order they signed up electronically, and we will hear in-person comments followed by virtual public comments. Residents of Corpus Christi will be given priority over non-residents. Please state your name and the city in which you live before beginning your comments. You have 2 opportunities to make public comment on an agenda item or city-related business. First is at its present time, and second would be when we actually hear the item, so please select one option. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes, while non-resident comments are limited to 1 minute.
Now, once again, I thought this rule was just to be a tyrannical piece of garbage, you know what I mean? But there's actually a harmful reason for this, to harm out-of-towners, right? Because this city aggressively goes after other cities' utilities and water, right? And when they come to our council meeting to oppose it, they only get a minute to talk, which isn't long enough to convince anybody of anything or even get a breath out. You know what I mean? So it's even more insidious, I guess you could say, or whatever, contemptuous, whatever you want to call it, man. It's horrible. It is a horrible rule. And again, it violates rights. You know what I'm saying? Like most rules and laws that are horrible, or even Supreme Court decisions that are horrible, tend to violate more rights than they do not. You know what I'm saying?
An invisible timer positioned near the city secretary's desk will assist in managing the allotted time. If you have a petition or any relevant information that you'd like to share with us, if you'll please share it with Ms. Huerta first, and she'll pass it out to us before we begin.
But let's move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Von Wade. Let's wait till afterward. And can we just do that afterward? I'd rather we do that afterward. Ron Graven?
Can I make a motion for her to do it?
He is. Ron Graven?
We have a motion.
We have a motion on the table, Roland.
Rebecca?
I understood that the mayor had asked the council to save points of order and comments till the after public comment, so that he's just enforcing her, that's all he was doing, enforcing her.
There's no enforcement mechanism for that. She can't tell you guys to do something and then expect that you guys do it and then enforce it with somebody else. That's ridiculous. You vote as a council.
There's no motions that can be made on an item that's not on the agenda.
Even this corrupt piece of shit, Roland Barrera, knows that.
Ron Graven?
May I make a point of information?
After we're done. There's not that much. Sharon Sedgwick is not in. Mr. Jim Klein. Thank you.
That's also, so we've talked about decorum, right? And so that's, I know, but I'm just reminding you, we did talk about that decorum.
That decorum? Like there's a separate one that we don't know about, that you had a separate conversation about that we never heard? That's fucking weird. Look, lady, everybody knows your game, right? The mayor gets up and leaves, and then the city attorney gets up and leaves, and then you guys just scream objection every time you hear something you don't like. We get it, right? There's a different lawyer there every time public comment goes on. You're gonna have to think of something new, man.
Christina English.
Christina English, District 1. Last week, and on countless other occasions, myself and other community members have had their First Amendment rights violated.
Meetings. We are not going to run out of water. So what is the goddamn point of this whole thing anyway? That is the rhetorical.
I'm sorry. There's no profanity, so that your time ends, ma'am. I'm sorry. Rebecca, can we? Yeah. She's right. Your profanity just.
In real solutions to make this city a better and
Thank you.
more accessible place to live.
Ma'am, is she supposed to be addressing me?
The rules are it's council as a whole. It's up to the mayor if she wants to.
No, I'm sorry, she's addressing me.
I heard that she was
I'm
making
sorry,
a
can
comment.
we'll fix that. Let's please keep it.
If Gregory Wayne Abbott wanted to help build water infrastructure or do any
Have had their First Amendment rights violated by the mayor, the council, and members of city staff. My speech was interrupted and subsequently limited inappropriately when I. What was upsetting was that our library board chair, Pat Craig, was in it. Protesting
Objection.
freedom
Mayor,
and
objection.
democracy.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, can you hold on one sec?
My time,
Yes,
please.
objection, Mayor.
2:22 is where I'm at.
Rebecca, can you hold the time, please?
Yes, commentator mentioned an individual name.
It's a public official, and I'm saying it's in their capacity as a public official. And I'm not allowed to talk to them directly, I believe, but I can say, I can talk about things that they've done.
If individual names cannot be mentioned,
Okay, I just won't mention them. We know who the library board chair is. I attempted to make comment concerning the fitness of our library board chair to serve in that position. A member of the city's legal team, whose name I wasn't able to find on the website.
I don't think she's legal. I think she is secretary staff. She's in the secretary's office, I'm sure, because, I mean, that's what it's got to be. Because it's not like I went onto the city website and found all the city attorneys' names and then cross-referenced them to images on Google to see if they matched or anything. I didn't do that stuff. So it's got to be secretary staff.
Insisted that names could not be used while giving comment. We'll put aside the First Amendment implications of that assertion momentarily and revisit the rules of decorum found on the city website. Council members and the mayor shall be referred to by title and/or title with surname. This can't be the problem because I made reference to the chair of the library board and not the mayor or any member of council. And even if we extended this rule beyond its actual language to cover the chair, I would still have been within bounds on this rule.
Don't worry. I got your back on this one too, Christina, because even if they were to follow their own made-up rules, which they make up on the spot, even if they were to follow that, it would still have to have been a council member that objected to your speech or to what you said.
City
Related.
Yeah, relate. What?
It's between myself, Mr. Risley, Rebecca.
Okay. I was just curious because I would think at least midpoint you get that that's not city related and it's time to.
Any city council member has the right to bring up to object to a violation of decorum at any time.
I did not realize that. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, is that correct?
Absolutely not. That is incorrect. Okay, but even if it were correct, Christina English still would have been in bounds on that, as she so said. Because the chubby lady who objected was not a council member. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to know the proper way to do it, it's to say, pause the time, say point of order, let them finish, and then the council can decide afterwards if they were out of order. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people. I'm sorry. You don't pause the time. You stop it, and then after you say point of order, you give them back their full 30 minutes and let them go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, is that correct? Okay.
Well, I don't know. It's the first I heard of that, but.
Me too.
Yeah, the mayor is the presiding person over the meeting, but I guess Miles is saying a council member can object, and then they'd have to come through the mayor about the statement.
Like I said, Peter Zanoni is a huge pile of trash, but at least he doesn't violate rights. You know what I'm saying? Or even, he doesn't even know. It doesn't even register in his brain what he just said. And Miles Risley is known for misleading people. Watch this.
Always decides as the presiding officer, but any council member may object to an apparent violation of a rule of decorum.
Funny how he didn't mention this during public comment. When you set aside, is it reasonable to set aside 3 minutes for someone to talk and then object to them talking? No.
All remarks shall be addressed to the mayor and city council and not to council members as individuals. This is also not a problem. I was addressing the mayor and council and did not speak directly to anyone. It's written the same way in the city charter, only there I learned that it's possible to fine members of council for their breaches of decorum, making me wonder how much of a revenue stream we've missed out on.
Whoa, what do you mean missed out on? We can still go back, and every objection is an interruption. An objection, by definition, is an interruption. So no matter what you said that prompted an objection, an illegal objection, because this is not a court of law, this is Texas open meetings, you know what I mean, guidelines or whatever, we can go back and look at every single one, and we can put $500 to each one of those.
Even just based on the mayor. That same day, at least 2 other community members used names in their comments, but were thankfully not interrupted. Today as well. Demonstrating both the fairness and effectiveness of inventing rules on the fly. I don't know why the city's legal department feels protective about our library board chair to the point that they're willing to violate my rights while being recorded and live streamed.
That's because they're legal and they think they're in a court of law. Dude, they don't know how to follow laws and rules. They just know how to make them up and distort them.
I'd remind this entire body that a violation of anyone's rights makes us all less free. This mayor and council also look weak and petty when they spend more time arguing about a comment's relation to city business than the 3-minute comment would have taken if left uninterrupted. I have personally sat in these chambers and listened to comments about people's mothers, personal religious beliefs, and outright hate speech, all uninterrupted. The rule requiring a comment to be about city business is subjective, inefficient, and unevenly applied. Public comment should be held at 5:30 on Monday, noon on Tuesday, and at each item. Virtual participants should have equal access at each of these times. And I still encourage you all to take a look at Library Board Chair Pat Craig's social media presence before those appointments come up. Thank you so much.
Diversifying, and staff is working extremely hard to do that. But there has to be something concrete, and I don't see that change from last week. I think it's the exact same thing today that was last week. So this isn't about being against the project at all. It's more about expecting the same level of accountability that we demand from other major projects that we put through on this very dais, and that's my stance only. It sounds like you have the support, and I'm glad you do. I think that your 2031, when you told us that, myself and the city manager, I think that was more realistic than 2029. That's what I think. I'm not an engineer, but that's what I think, and that was from you. That was from you. 2031 is not a water project that's going to help us today, and that's okay. We still need to, have our eye on the ball, but I really wish that there would have been a business plan, more concrete information for us to be able to move forward. It's probably going to move forward. I can't move forward with $2.7 million, knowing we have very little to go on. But I'm addressing you because I know you've spent a lot of time. Absolutely. So.
We take those to heart. Thank you.
Councilwoman Vaughn.
Councilman Barrera, I actually agree with you on one thing. I know, don't fall over. Barney Davis, I think the mayor has met with him, you've met with him, several council members have talked to them, so I'm hoping that you will bring that back to council.
Yes, we plan to do that.
Actually, it'll be on November 11th. I think November 11th.
Good to know. And the other thing that I want to talk about, and I get it, that y'all don't think there's a business plan. I see a business plan. There was no business plan for Inner Harbor. We didn't know what we were going to do with $750 million shortfall. And maybe I missed it, and Mayor and y'all brought it forward, but I never saw that. But they were willing. Some of the council people were willing to go ahead and go with that cost and pass it on to the customers. Our ratepayers. We weren't willing to do that, and this is a lot different, a lot less right now. So I think we need to move forward. I feel comfortable just because you don't have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Y'all shown that you have had successful projects in the past, especially with the Mary Roads pipeline. I don't know how we could say no, save the city by doing that. And so they looked forward, and we have to have a vision to look forward as well. Thank you.
Mr. Byram, you had mentioned last time that you're hoping to get funding from the state?
Yes.
Okay, so that's similar to the desalination project. I just want to make that point, because we were also hoping to get, that's not on you, we were also hoping to get funding from the state as well. So it's the same kind of thing, but I get your point. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Everybody, please submit your vote.
Public comment, Mayor.
Oh, gosh, thank you, Rebecca. Come on down. And we're going to open public comment on item number 23.
Michael Miller, District 2. I just wanted to thank you all, first of all, because I'm finally seeing unity. I know it doesn't seem like it amongst y'all, but today we have solved our short-term needs. We've solved our midterm needs. And in my opinion, this is an opportunity to solve our long-term needs. And I know everything seems a little shaky right now with the details, and I understand that. I've shared some ideas with Mr. Byram on how he could quell some of your concerns, Mayor and Councilman Barrera. First option that I gave him was make it refundable. Couldn't do that. Second option I made him was make it to where, okay, if it's non-refundable, then we should be able to back out, as before shovels go into the dirt. That wasn't acceptable either. And I understand why they're not acceptable. And I was accused by Eloy. He told me, oh, you're poo-pooing on the deal. I said, no, I'm not poo-pooing on the deal. I'm just trying to figure out creative ways to address your concerns, right? And the third option that I gave was, and this is another opportunity for unity, is if we all came together and went to the Capitol and we had a talk with the governor together, and we put a bug in his ear because he's got competition in the state, or in the United States. He's a very proud holder of 14 years straight of the Governor's Cup, right? And if you tell the governor, Ron DeSantis, a friendly competitor over there to the east, has a 24 million gallon per day plant, and Governor Gavin Newsom over to the west has a 50 million gallon per day plant, and you have the opportunity to engage in a 100 million gallon per day plant with the expansion up to 450 million gallon per day plant. We have a very proud governor, and that's something that he would jump all over. So, but we need unity. And the other part of this thing is I'm a general contractor, and I don't build anything. I manage risk. And one of my biggest issues since the get-go with the Inner Harbor was not all of our customers, but just the city of Corpus Christi is the ones taking all the risk. And we can talk about, if it's an $11 increase or a $15 increase till we're blue in the face, but the bottom line is the citizens of Corpus Christi are taking on all the risk. And should something go wrong, should the plant not perform, should the plant, only produce 10 million gallons a day versus 30, all of that cost gets eaten by the citizens, not by all of our customers. This is an opportunity to share that risk with our neighbors, with other cities throughout the state, and with a political subdivision of the state of Texas behind it. So I think it's a good idea. I know everything isn't all ironed out, but I think it's worthy of $2.7 million. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, council members. Jason Hale, Corpus Christi. I think this is a great project. I think it can really help out a lot of communities in need throughout Texas. I'm concerned. I have some concerns that this may not be the right fit for Corpus, and so I'm just going to go through those. So the first one is, do we really need 50 million gallons a day? The reason I ask is because there's a clause in the contract that says we can increase how much water we get from the Oasis River Authority, but we may not decrease the amount that we sign up for unless everyone agrees for it. So the point being, if we sign up for too much water, we may end up with too much water. And so my recommendation is to sign up for the amount that we need based on projected needs. And so that gets to my second point, which is what are our projected needs? I guess it'd be for 10 to 20 years out based on growth and based on the supplies that we have that we're working on right now. That would put us at 138 million gallons a day after the drought. And if you do a 1% projection of all total demands, that works out to about 134 million gallons a day in 2035. And that also includes peak days and lower than average days. The average daily demand is a pretty good indication of that. And so what that would look like for kind of saying where the water is going to go for each customer, whether it's residential and commercial or large volume, is all 50 million gallons going to go to municipal needs? Because that would be, enough to more than double Corpus. So, to obviously have to go to large volume or wholesale, and I think we should know that before kind of moving forward on this. I think it's an important discussion that we need to have that we're not having. And then we don't know the impact to water rates. So right now, the annual expenses for CCW is $150 million a year. On the low end, this 50 million gallons a day would double CCW's annual expenses. On the high end, it would triple it. So I think we deserve to know what the impacts are going to be before we move forward with this. When Inner Harbor got voted down earlier this year, I thought we solved the problem by moving forward with Evangeline. Y'all wanted 30 million gallons a day. We got it, plus more with reuse at a lower price than Inner Harbor. But it just seems like that goalpost keeps moving. And I would like an explanation as to why that's happening. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hale.
Eric Von Way, District 2. All right, I like what you guys are doing, and I encourage you to continue forward with this. I got here a little late. I understand you guys did a lot of work. I had to work today. But what I'm seeing you do now is the hard work that we need to accelerate. Extremism in pursuit of water is no vice. And we need to be as quick as we can, but as thorough as we can. And that means don't hold back. I saw a lot of criticism over 1.2 billion. 2.7 billion, let's not like it so much that we're doing the backstroke before we start asking all the hard questions. And I also want to hear a clear and concise answer that I still not have heard yet from the NRA, which is, are you going to guarantee us you will not sell water around us to our customers? I need to hear that clear and concise, because if we're going to commit to 50 million gallons a day, which I'm not opposed to, I want some promises. I want to see some aggressive salesmanship in which we are having clear and concise answers and not dancing around the issue. I think it's a very important issue to ask, are you going to sell to anybody? I don't care if they approach you or you not approaching them, that's good. But I want to make sure that if they approach you, you don't cut us out of the loop. That'd be like a wholesaler selling to my retail customers and cutting me out of the loop. I don't think that's appropriate. If you want our commitment, commit to us, and we are the ones that sell to our customers, not you. And I thank you very much for what you're doing. I'm going to say this. I think in the end, we're going to see that we need Inner Harbor as well as what we can get from the NRA. And can we sell them back Choke Canyon? Because that has proven to be a dry hole. And that, I think, should also prompt us to ask some harder questions, because Choke Canyon, we are choking on. Thank you very much.
Mr. Byram, to clarify that, would you please, the question about selling water to?
I think I've been very clear about that, Mayor. I don't think I need to explain any more. I've been very, very open from day one with that.
You're not going to sell any water then?
I am not bringing it up to them, but everywhere we go, They tell us
No, I
they
understand
need
that,
water.
but-
And we got to deal with the elephant in the room. We serve everybody in the basin, ma'am. And in fact, we are enabled to serve everybody in the state of Texas. And if they ask us, we're going to discuss it with them.
So the answer is possibly.
The answer I've been clear about, and that has not changed.
What is it?
I have told you that I do not want to sell water in the coastal bend. I've told you that more than once.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I'm not supporting this, but my colleagues are. So this is extremely important, and Peter and legal, and this could be for later. You know, I don't know. That's your call. But I'm just addressing what the gentleman in public comment just asked. And so the question is not, the answer has not been no. It's I don't want to. So I hope y'all are taking note of that for if and when that matters, because it does matter. It would matter if I was voting for it. Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Paxson.
Thank you. I think that perhaps it seems like we were.
Thank you, Ms. English. Jason Hale? I don't see Jason Hale. Eli McKay?
Threw my back out, struggling. I wasn't going to come today, but here I am. My name is Eli McKay, and I live in beautiful uptown Corpus Christi, District 1. So today I came to talk about transparency. It's something that this shitty,
Don't be. The legal profession butchers words all the time. And actually, factually, when you mix shady with city, you get shitty. You know what I'm saying? So no harm, no foul, lady.
Sadly, is that all of you on this dais are transparent because you show us. Sorry, I threw my back out. Struggling. I wasn't going to come today, but here I am. My name is Eli McKay, and I live in beautiful uptown Corpus Christi, District 1. So today I came to talk about transparency. It's something that the didn't mean to say that. The city should strive for, and something that the people crave. The meaning of the word can change by the perception of the person using it and also those hearing it. One thing that is clear, and some of you may not know, some who are not in this room, sadly, is that all of you on this dais are transparent because you show us your true colors every single day. For some of you, that is a good thing. You show empathy, understanding of issues, and a focus on the decisions that you make for all of us. Others show us a self-serving path, solely ego-driven. And something that I always say is that ego is the enemy of the people. The time has come for anyone in a position of power to put their ego aside, to look beyond their greed, and to be realistic of the situation we are in. Stand up, be brave, speak out against division, fear-mongering, and lies. Do not allow investments we have made to beautify our city be caught in the crossfires of hate being spewed by our governor. We like our decorative crosswalks, just like we like our library collection offering diverse, inclusive options for all citizens who use the library. Corpus Christi is a diverse city with innovative artists, creators, and small business entrepreneurs who have a vision for their community. These people should be valued and listened to over any corporate voices. X Games would be awesome in Corpus, and I don't see Adam here, but my God, let's listen to him. Some of you are listening, and it shows, so please keep going. Some of you are catering to corporations at the detriment of our community, and you will be replaced in 378 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McKay. Adam Rios, I don't see him either. Adam Rios. Okay, I guess Rebecca Brittany Young is next by WebEx.
Yes, then she's online.
All right, Ms. Young. Ms. Young?
She was online.
Okay, well, maybe we'll come back to her.
Okay.
Okay, next we have Amanda Guerra. Is she on the phone?
I was told she was, but
All right, we'll give her an opportunity to come back. Alberto Zertucci.
he was also online.
Okay, we're running out of time. Jimmy Vinson.
I'm here.
Oh.
Okay, who's that, Albert?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Zertucci, proceed.
My name is Albert Sartucci. I'm District 3. I'm also a veteran-owned business, Hard Life Bait and Tackle. I own a YouTube channel called Team Hard Life, Team Hard Life with 200,000 subscribers and growing. I want to thank all those who listened to us and voted against the Inner Harbor desal plant and stood against all those who try to levy their weight against you in our city. We are watching and we got your backs. We will continue to share the knowledge of what is going on. We know and understand we need water, but at the same time, not at the detriment of losing our natural resources. I am pro-growth. I want to see everyone raise up with blessed paths for each. However, now that we are all paying attention to what is happening, we are seeing the crooked under the table deals that were made for big businesses, putting our taxpayer money in dangerous hands rather than putting it to true growth, fixing our infrastructure, our streets, our water, our school libraries. And this is important for all taxpayers now and for the future taxpayers who are tuning in after the city council meetings have finished. We are all paying attention to the fear-mongering and false narratives that are being told. We need more growth in the amount of water that is available. However, doing it the right way and protecting our natural resources is more important than we can all truly fathom. We've got a certain amount of years on this planet, and by doing what we are doing to destroy those natural resources will last decades after our deaths. We need to ensure that everything that we are doing is in order to protect our city's future for not just us, our kids, their kids, and their kids after that. Growth is a positive thing. Growth is always good if it's done in the right way, where everybody works hand in hand to make sure that they are not pushing somebody down. Basically like swimming. You know, if you can swim together, everybody moves, but if somebody is trying to push somebody underwater, that's not the right way to survive. I don't know how many times we got to say this, guys, but y'all are paying attention, and they nailed it earlier. A lot more people are starting to tune in to what y'all are doing, how y'all are doing it. We are not stupid. We are catching up. We may be a little slow because we have never been in this deal, but we are catching up, and we are learning fast, guys. So we wish y'all the best. Make the right decisions because we are watching, and votes are coming up very soon.
Thank you, Mr. Zertucci. Mr. Hale, did you want to make a public comment? No. Okay. And then, Ms. Huerta, do we have, oh, no, this is in person. Jimmy Vinson?
I believe the three individuals who spoke when the item came up. So it's Mr. Vinson, Mr. Cuellar, and Kelly Harlan.
His mom, yeah.
Yeah, I think they spoke when the item came up.
Okay, but everybody else is done. Okay, Councilwoman Paxton.
Thank you. I was hoping our city manager, is he available real quick? Thank you, Peter. I just was asking for help and I wanted to go to the source. We had someone comment earlier. It's possible, I think they may have missed the entirety of the presentation today in council. And so I was hoping that you could have staff get with that individual and provide him an updated water source status, showing to him our efforts and our plan for both immediate and long-term water, their timelines, and the total amount of water that we're getting, just so he really gets the clear message what the plan is.
Okay.
Thank you.
We can do that.
Councilwoman Vaughn.
I want to apologize for using titty baby, and I'm sorry if that offended you. I really don't think it's an ugly word. It's just something that I used when my kids were growing up. Don't be a titty baby. So I apologize. It will not, I don't think it'll happen again. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our public comment. And so now we will go back to our meeting agenda and pick up where we left off, which is item number 23. And that is a motion authorizing a short-term non-refundable option for potable water reservation and diversion contract with Nueces, the Nueces River Authority to reserve 57,000 7-acre feet per year from the Harbor Island Seawater Desalination Plant.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, do we have any staff that wants to say anything? Everybody's MIA. I don't know. Nick, did you have anything to say on this one? We have a motion and a second.
No, I'm just standing by for questions, Mayor.
Whoa, let's see how quickly they all came scurrying back, dude. This is crazy. Watch this again. But at the bottom right of your screen.
I don't know. Nick, did you have anything to say on this one? We have a motion and a second.
No, I'm just standing by for questions, Mayor.
Okay, great. Councilwoman Paxson?
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a long road getting to this point. I have always been a huge proponent for this. I would like to take a quick moment just to clarify that this is a Gulf desalination project. This is planned out to utilize water well out into the Gulf. This isn't something that's using closed water system resources. I know that's been a huge topic of interest and concern, so I want to say that right out of the gate. There's some confusion, I think, circling around. Some people use the term desalination to represent one project, when desalination is a technology.
No, it's not. Desalination is evaporation. Mother Nature invented desalination, okay? Let me show you what desalination is again for those of you who forgot.
Water. It's basically a still. It's process. So it's simple. You just evaporate the water. It's basically a still.
That's it. No technology here. Just simple Mother Nature and sunlight. You know what I'm saying?
It's the business
Okay,
model.
there's so much good stuff, but I have to cut it all out because this is getting so fucking long. But I just want to show you how Weasley and sidewinding this guy Miles Weasley is. Okay, so what's happening is they're trying to create a board for and make a conservation district, right? And they're using all city staff to do it, which are 5 of the most Weasley staff members possible, right? And they claim that they've been having these meetings since 2019, but you can't find it anywhere on the website. And then Councilman asks the question, which I think is wonderful because Miles Weasley is a piece of shit and has no problem misguiding and misleading people when just watch.
That is. And so there's a process on how to readjust and evaluate those.
But my point is that if we didn't do this, then they couldn't limit the amount of water that we withdrew. That's the thing. What would be? I know that the thing is that we want control, and the other issue is that they don't trust us. So I'm just saying this for the public's sake, so that way they understand. So what, other than control, what's the downside of us not moving forward in this?
Other than control was the downside.
Because then, if they're subject to the same regulatory requirement of the MAG, and we say we want to drill, and we've done the math, what is there a legal way of which they can tell us no?
Yes, they can reestablish the DFCs, the desired future conditions, and the drawdown, so they could, if those properties within in that newly created groundwater conservation district, they could lower that number, and then also talking about the transport permits and add additional cost to this.
The transport permits.
To this supply.
Guess what? The people that are on top of those properties and next to those properties only get 1 minute to speak about it because they're from out of town.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Councilman Cantu.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I think it is imperative. Well, let me ask this question first. Who dictates how many people are on your board?
This dude, Everett Roy, has been in the game a hot minute, and he knows this question is going to ruffle some feathers, but it also does something else. Hey, look, man, the appearance of transparency is as important as the transparency itself. You know what I'm saying? In this case, anyways. Look, you first have to pretend to sleep before you fall asleep, you know what I mean?
The legislation.
And so how many people do they allow?
The legislation put 5 members.
5 members.
Created a 5-member board.
And none of your current board members are community, from the community?
They work for the city. They work for the city,
right?
Yes.
But none of them are independent and live in that They're not community. There's no community board member.
They're city employees. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of have a hard time completely answering your question because yes, they do live in the community.
Outside of working for the city.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Are there any board members that don't work for the city?
No.
Thank you.
I think Roy wants to leave an imprint of that ring across that dude's forehead, but I mean, it's whatever, you know what I mean?
Okay. And they limit us to 5. Why is that?
I wasn't here in '05 when the legislation was created. I couldn't determine why they just limited it to 5.
So when we look at our counterparts, every one of those boards have 5 people on there.
All GCDs?
Yeah.
No.
But ours is limited. Miles, how do you get that changed if we want to add more board members?
That's a statute. So that's the legislation. You know, we were a legislatively created district.
Yeah.
Hold up. Let's see that one more time. Let's see that look one more time, Miles.
Yeah, I just say this because overall, just to me, it just doesn't sit right. And I don't, you know, and I'm definitely going to take that in part of my consideration for this vote. But I think we need to do something to try and change that. I really do. Because first of all, one of the things that we've talked a lot about today is just being a good neighbor. And when you take a look at where we're at as far as expanding our areas, we're affecting some of those neighbors. And I know that, you know, we talked about going out there and talking to Senton and Mathis and some of the other ones and doing the things that we need to do, but we need to do the same thing. What gets me is that, you know, I'm in District 1, so I'm the farthest northwest portion. I'm the district that's closest to where we're putting these wells in. And, you know, I love going to Walmart, but I don't want to have to duck behind a counter or hide behind a section because, you know, we're in a situation that isn't good for the community. I think we need to be good neighbors.
I mean, you could call it a change of heart. I think he just realized who his people are, and his people are the people that are out there with pitchforks and have a bunch of land and a bunch of farm animals, right, to make human bones disappear if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So I think he just had a, you know, just a realization of that whole thing.
And that's about the
that we're seeing it used. It's usually done by legislation.
And I was doing some more research, talking to Steve Young and
statute, I believe. And we had somebody send us some information. It looks like 5 is the minimum and 11 is the maximum members by statute, I believe.
to 5.
It was established with a 5.
How do you get that changed?
I'll have to work with our attorneys to determine the change of rules.
Miles, how do you get that changed if we want to add more board members?
That's a statute, so that's the legislation. You know, we were a legislatively created district. That we're seeing it used, it's usually done by legislation.
And I was doing some more research, talking to Steve Young, and
So that was just sent to us as a quick note on there. Another thing is, I know that, you know, once an entity is created, like the Nueces Groundwater District, I think that from what I understand, there's some time that's going to have to go into the creation of that entity. But I'd be interested in, much like our surrounding municipalities and counties and things, where we're able to sit down at a table and talk about interests, needs, you know, deficits, how do we protect things so that...
Because I'm being told too, it's 5 with a maximum of 11. It really doesn't matter today because we won't be able to do anything until December. I make a motion to approve.
It matters that your attorney and your city employees are misleading and misguiding people, dude. I mean, Miles recently is a giant weasel known for hits such as, Mayor, transferring time is not permitted.
Respectful of one another, including the city council and city staff. The mayor and council members shall be referred to by title and/or title surname. All remarks must be addressed to the mayor and city council and not to the council members as individuals. Citizens are only permitted to speak on city-related subject matter. Speaking on any non-city related matter is prohibited.
Thank you, Mr. Risley. So please state your name and the city in which you live before beginning your comments. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes, while non-resident comments are limited to 1 minute. A visible timer positioned near the city secretary's desk will help manage the allotted time. Residents of Corpus Christi will be given priority in speaking over non-residents. If you have a petition or relevant information, please present it to the city secretary before speaking. Okay.
Ready? I have a point of order before. I did not sign up at 4 o'clock. Will I be allowed to?
You know, sir, if you can come right over here and talk with them, yes, thank you. I think Robin Sanders she already spoke. I don't think she's here unless, no, right, okay. Rachel Caballero. I've already spoken on the things that I've spoken about, so I'd like to
give over my time to the gentleman that has some valid concerns about the hostile takeover of our council. Please let it happen.
Mayor, you can't, transferring time is not permitted. Mayor, you can't, transferring time is not permitted.
I'm Rick Corpus Christi, and I'm going to yield to Pastor Robert Simmons.
Robert Simmons, Corpus Christi.
Well, you didn't have a problem with it then, did you there, Weasley Miles? Here, let's see what your reaction was whenever he said he's going to yield to his friend.
I'm Rick Corpus Christi, and I'm going to yield to Pastor Robert Simmons.
I hope you get sued in your individual capacity because you are just empowering these tyrannical pieces of craps that are up there, Mr. Weasley, right? Stop being a weasel, bro.
Transferring time is not permitted.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Mayor, you can't, transferring time is not permitted.